Did I ever tell you about how somebody tried to get me to join like a white power gang at one point?
Yeah, I saw the swastika tattooed on your bicep.
You want to hear it?
Yeah, tell me.
It happened at, I love that you mentioned Black Bear Diner because this actually happened at a Tommy's Hamburgers. But I go to a Tommy's Hamburgers in Long Beach on bikes, probably 10 p.m., right?
Any story where you do anything on a bike is fucking hilarious.
So it's like 8 of us on bikes, right? And I'm the big tattooed guy out of the group. Everybody else is like smaller white dudes or whatever. And there's like a dude with a bunch of tattoos, a white guy, and he's with 2 girls. And there's like a bar across the street that's like popping, like there's people going in and out, whatever, older people, but there's something going on across the street. So this guy's there, he's clearly at this bar, but he came over to get a fucking hamburger, and he's drunk, and he's got these 2 girls with him, and he comes over and starts talking to me and starts asking me where I'm from, because he can tell that I'm not from fucking California, and I tell him I'm from Boston area, whatever, and he starts asking me about a couple of bands, whatever, and I'm having this conversation with him. He tells me he's from Gardena, and then he sort of busts out, his first racist trope of the night. He starts talking about how Gardena was a lot nicer before all the, or no, he's talking about Garden Grove, which is famous from some fucking Sublime lyrics.
We took this trip to Garden Grove.
And so he's basically telling me how Garden Grove was great before all the blacks and Mexicans moved in. So that was my first moment of being like, oh, dear Lord, okay. And so I'm kind of like, yeah, all right, like whatever. I'm not really trying to argue with him. I'm just trying to shut him up and just eat my fucking burger. So
it'd probably be dangerous too.
I'm just
if you start a fight with this
I'm not trying to like
crazy guy.
engage him, so I'm just kind of waving him off. Okay, yeah, Garden Grove, cool, whatever. Like, and so he kind of takes off. He's sitting with his girls again, whatever. He comes back to me and starts telling me about this oil rig that he works on and how he's got a great team of guys.
It never leaked until the blacks came aboard.
No, but he doesn't like. He is saying like, yeah, we got a lot of great guys that work on my crew. Mostly white guys, we even got a couple, a black guy, a Mexican guy, but they're hard workers, not like the rest of them.
So he had to go clean it up. He's I don't think that feller took it so well.
He tried to clean it up by saying that like these guys are the exception to the rule, but the rule is that they're all lazy. And so I'm like, again, he's trying to offer me a fucking $20 an hour job, and I'm like, bro, I got my own business. Like I'm not interested. Whatever.
Oh, he thought your aversion to it is like, well, I'm hearing you about this oil rig, but what about the blacks?
Right,
what about them on there?
But he thinks like he's starting to catch on that I'm really not feeling it when he brings up the fucking racist shit. And so then whatever, he kind of like gives up. And then we all hop on our bikes and we're about to leave. And he comes up to me right as we're leaving. And I've probably told this story fucking 10 times over the years, so I might be fucking up some details about this, but this is the gist of it.
Yeah.
And he comes up to me right at the end and he tells me his name and he hands me a business card and he says, hey man, for real, I've done some real ass shit in my life. I went in, I did my time, and yada yada. And he just hands me the business card. And he goes, you can look me up. And I'm like, okay, whatever, bro. And so I get home and I Google the guy right away. And I figure out that he was at a high school dance when he was in high school. And he basically, like, his crew of white dudes get in a big argument with a crew of Mexican dudes, and he goes back to his grandfather's house and gets his grandfather's shotgun, and they end up in a chase down the fucking highway or some shit, and this dude fucking blows one of the Mexican dudes' heads off with the shotgun, hops on a plane, goes to Hawaii, hides out for a couple days, then basically comes back, turns himself in, and does like fucking, it surprised me how little time it was. It was like fucking 15 years. It wasn't even like a full 20. I was like, how the fuck did this guy get that little time? And again, I might be fucking it up. It might have been like longer, but he wasn't like that old. He was like 40. So it was like, damn, you're like in your early 40s. You like did this, you got out, and now you're like fucking basically treating this fucking oil rig that you work on like your little white power gang, and you're coming up to me trying to recruit me.
Yeah, and tell you I've changed. I served my time, and Dude,
I couldn't believe it. And honestly, like that's the only time that anything like that has ever happened to me, where somebody was like kind of trying to recruit me for a little bit of a racist crew. I was just totally mind blown.
We better get going. You got to work on the oil rig soon.
This has been a clip from my new podcast, Sledge Lords with Danny Mullen. We're dropping a new episode every week, so either hit the link in the description or search up the Adam 22 channel on YouTube. Appreciate you guys.